Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today we're playing a new mode in Fortnite Battle Royale called Shooting Test. Now, Shooting Test is a mode where Epic is going to be trialing out some really big changes to the shooting mechanics with this game. Now, as you can see, I've got a burst assault rifle, a shotgun, a tactical submachine gun, a normal submachine gun, a pistol, and we're going to try to find a normal assault rifle and a sniper rifle as well in this game. I'm going to be showing you guys off how really big these changes actually are. Okay, so starting out with a big one, this burst assault rifle. Have a look at how big this spread is. And this spread is about the same for the normal assault rifle as well. But when you go and stop, it gets a little bit smaller. When you go and scope in, have a look at how accurate this weapon is. It's basically a laser. You go here, bang, it's an absolute laser. If you keep spraying, it goes higher and higher and higher. But honestly, that isn't that bad. And there is somebody right here. That is very interesting. And he, my friend, has a normal assault rifle, I believe. He has an actual scar for me. Fantastic. So, as you saw, the recoil and the spread is basically non-existent when you're scoped in. So this gun is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous when you're just trying to go and fire. But at longer ranges, obviously the recoil is going to be a little bit of a detriment, so you have to go and pull down for it. Moving over to the shotgun, the biggest change, have a look at that initial spread. It's really big when you pull it out, so no cheeky type of pump action shotgun type of glitches. That isn't going to be happening anymore. Then you have the tactical submachine gun. Let's have a look here. So when you're just firing normally, look at that recoil. That is insane. And when you're in scope, have a look about how small the spread gets. But the recoil is ridiculous. And trying to go and pull down on my mouse, I'm pulling really hard down on my mouse. So let's try it from the start. Pulling down on my mouse, very difficult to go and control it. Now swapping over to a pistol. Have a look. That is me firing as fast as possible with that pistol. Insane. Let's pick up this one now and have a try. But look at the accuracy. So what Epic is going for with this change is making sure that your weapons are more accurate, but you can't go and spray them. Now obviously this is still in a test, it's kind of like a beta phase, but it is extreme. Taking pot shots, really easy to do, but trying to spray, very difficult. And the same as with guns like the revolver, the same change. So let's move over to this epic assault rifle, the SCAR right now. So the spread, kind of huge, like really bad. If I'm just going to hip fire, look at that, you're not going to be able to hit anything. But if we go back here and we aim at this tree, it is a laser. But the recoil is very high. So I'm just going to let it go, and the recoil goes up like that. But if I tap, it's a lot more accurate. Now pulling down on my mouse, I'm going to pull down on my mouse. That's kind of how it is. Not really controllable. Kind of controllable, but it is quite difficult. We'll pick up a few more bullets so I can show you guys. So, just a tap fire, tap. But if I'm going to be bursting, not that bad. If I'm going to be spraying, very difficult to go and get those shots on target. So what they're trying to go and do now is promote accuracy, making sure you can go and hit your targets from long range. And if you want to go in short range, then obviously that is what your shotgun's for. Because at the moment, there is a big element of randomness in this game where if you try to go and hit somebody and you're dead on with your crosshair, more than likely you won't go and get any hits. So is there any other guns I can go and trial? We've got the normal submachine gun. I'll go and show that as well. So as you can see, this is great for running and gunning. Running and gunning, this gun is perfect. But if you want to go and if you aim down sights, perfect as well. But the recoil, very difficult to go and manage. So yeah, it's quite obvious what Epic wants to go and do with this game. They want to go and make it more skill-based in terms of where you aim, that's where the bullet wants to go. And personally, as a PC player, I love this because it makes sure that if I miss, it is my fault, not the game's fault. Because that randomness is really annoying. Now, for console players, I can see this change being very annoying. So have a look. There's a guy right here. I'm going to aim right at him. Bang, shot, and knock. That is ridiculous. That is so accurate. And this guy won, and I'm eliminated. And that's a whole squad done with a SCAR from range. And I did it in 4 bullets. Maybe I did 2 or 3 bullets on the first guy, 1 bullet on the second guy, and the squad's eliminated. This guy as well. What's he doing? I can barely even see him. I do have glasses on, my vision isn't the best, but he can bet 1, 2, come on, this guy died? There you go. Like, that is ridiculously accurate. And if you're good at aiming, you'd be loving this. You'd be like, yeah, this change is so good. But those guys will have no idea what just happened to him. I just eliminated him, and you know, the squad just got destroyed. Alright boys, so basically I got eliminated in exactly the same way as I just demolished those 3 guys from long range. I had no idea, just a few hits from the assault rifle, and I was down. So I wanted to go and show you guys some gameplay of how the match starts, because the way people play this game after realizing what these assault rifle changes are, the submachine gun and shotgun and whatnot, is very, very interesting. So instead of going from house to house and kind of breaching it really aggressively, the new strat is to play really passively and just sit on top of a house when you have an assault rifle. So I don't have an assault rifle right now, so I got to go down to the bottom story, find if there is one in this house, and hopefully I can show you guys what the optimal strat is with this new type of change. So personally, I think that Epic Games have gone really, I'd say, in the right direction in terms of making the game more skill-based, but it's gonna be a little bit of a mix-up, because the gameplay just changes so differently. Alright, so I've got an assault rifle, and all you do is just demolish people like that. The guy had absolutely no chance. Where is he? He had no chance to counter, because when you're on PC, the accuracy is much higher. It's much higher. So I don't know where this next guy is. I'm trying to find him, but once I find him, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Maybe I could go and actually put a wall up the correct way. Where are you, buddy? I know you're shooting me this way. And if I find him, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to aim on the head, I'm going to click a few times, and that's just what's going to go and happen. So where is his teammate? So that house has been looted. Is there someone there? I saw a little bit of movement. So 1, 2, 3. Can I hit a 4th? Oh, there's one guy in the house as well. And look, they're just demolishing me as well. Dude, the time to kill in this game just got cut really high. Really badly. So there's 2 people come towards me. I'm going to try to go for this one first. Hit him with a headshot. Oh, hit him again? I got 1 at least. Jeez, before I'm just going to get demolished eventually. It feels like a whole squad's coming for me. That's another one. Oh, I could have got that last one. I really could have. But that is a good example of how the gameplay is right now. Really fast time to kills. And if you can go and get those shots on target, you just laser people down really quickly. Alright boys, so here's a bit of a clip of me demolishing an enemy team at Greasy Grove with a legendary assault rifle with these new shooting model changes. Now, I've muted the in-game audio because I was so focused on demolishing that enemy team that I forgot I should have actually been speaking. So, as you can see, I'm at Greasy Grove and I'm going towards one of these houses and I see the crate near the doghouse. And with this new shooting model, there really isn't a point going and looting a whole house because you only need one gun, one assault rifle to do a lot of damage. So I pick up the legendary, and I also have that shield. I don't really care about the shield, I just want to go and get some kills. So I run towards the house, I see the guy going through the front door, put 2 into him. Guy on the roof, 1, 2, 3, 4, he had no chance. He was still swinging for the roof. This guy right here, the hip fire changes, is kind of making my shots a little bit inaccurate, but if I spray at this really close range, it doesn't really make a bit of a difference. Now, going back to my original house, I know there is at least 3 people. Now, I see one guy out on the bottom story, and I just walk in, I crouch, aim at the head, take him out very quickly. The next 2 kills are clinical though, 50s and 60s, because I've just crouched, barely moving, and I go and wipe the floor with him, hit a few 50s, hit a few 60s. That guy, I just aim down sights again, I hit fired maybe 1 or 2 bullets, and I just use the accuracy of the assault rifle while scoped in to go and finish off the rest. I killed 6 people, I didn't take a hit, I didn't use my armor. That's how powerful early rushes are with the new shooting model. Alright guys, so I have one more clip that really goes and shows off the inaccuracy of the assault rifle. So I'm running around, have a look at how big my spread is while running. But as soon as I aim down sight, I just go and put that guy down very quickly. Now, where's the rest of his squad? Well, one guy's on top of the roof saying he's shooting at me, he misses a few shots because he was going full auto. Now, I'm going full auto right here and I'm missing quite a few shots. The recoil is really going and taking me out. But with that said, I go a little bit more close range, I aim down sights, and it doesn't really matter about the recoil because he's just so close, and I'm pulling down. The mouse pulling down is really pivotal. And just because I didn't show it before, here's a little bit of an assault rifle spray showing how big the recoil is, how intense the recoil is when you're just trying to go and shoot somebody at range. Like, have a look, it just goes up. And now here's me trying to go and counter it. I can go and keep it in a little bit of a spread, and this guy just goes and one-shots me with a shotgun. But the assault rifle was in a very weird state. Alright boys, so after about an hour or so, Epic Games eventually went and took down the mode. Now from the onset, I knew that this was a mistake. Epic Games has said in a blog post or Reddit post or whatever, that they wanted to go and test out these shooting mechanic changes in 2018, not 2017. So somebody accidentally went and pulled the switch, and a few individuals like me got a really big look about what these new changes are actually going to go mean for this game. Personally, the first thing that I thought of when I hopped into game is that Epic is trying to go and transition Fortnite Battle Royale into more of a competitive experience, and I don't agree with that at all. Fortnite Battle Royale is a game where if you want to go and play it casually with your friends, you can go and do that. You can hop in, you can have some fun, you can shoot some people, and there is an element where you're not going to be lasered down. If you're not the best player in the game, you have a chance. You can go and turn around, you can go and build some walls, but with this change, it is super competitive. If you have the right aim, you can go tap, tap, tap right on the head and just demolish somebody. And they have no way to go and counter it. Like if you guys saw when I was on top of the building at Salty Springs and I just went bang, bang, bang on the guy, he didn't even look at me. He was running. He was probably like looking at his phone or something. I don't know. He got demolished. And there is nothing that he could go and do. And I don't really think that is fair for this game. Because this game isn't supposed to be the most competitive of Battle Royale games. If you want the most brutal experience, you play PUBG. If you want more of a lenient, casual experience, but you can go and try hard if you really want to, then Fortnite Battle Royale is the game for you, in my opinion. For a PC player, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, but for a console player, this is going to be a very big hurdle, and hopefully Epic goes and takes a little bit of feedback that guys like me are going to be providing now, and hopefully more feedback when the mode is actually supposed to go live in the future. But it's obvious that this is an extreme, a very big extreme, and what we have right now is an extreme as well, an extreme amount of randomness. What we need is somewhere in the middle, where guns are accurate and where you go and aim is where the bullet goes. But not so that you can just wipe people out so quickly that they're just thinking like they're playing PUBG, right? I don't think that is a really healthy thing for this game. Having a look on Twitter, the official Fortnite Twitter, @FortniteGame, went and said, "You may have noticed the shooting model limited time mode was briefly available this morning. We slipped up. This mode will not premiere until early next year and it is now disabled. You may have received a daily challenge tied to this mode. We are looking into this." Now, looking into the replies, one guy went and said, "I like the idea, but it needs a lot of work. Lol, thanks for getting rid of it. Lol." Now, Fortnite went and replied, "We are planning to tune and refine the mode before reintroducing it again early next year. Since many of you got a chance to play it, tell us what you think of the mode in the current state." Looking at Reddit and looking at Twitter, everybody's complaining about the recoil, and I 100% agree. The recoil is way too high. It's higher than PUBG, and PUBG is supposed to be the realistic game. I don't think we should be countering the game's mechanics in order to go and get an advantage. We already have so much stuff to go and think about in this game. Positioning, aiming, building, making sure that you don't go and get flanked, lots of wide open areas, going coordinated with your squad. A lot of things to think about at the same time. And then you have to go and add in controlling recoil, which is obviously basically non-existent in the game with the normal mode. This is something that we don't necessarily need in the game. We don't need another element to the gameplay in order to go and differentiate who the good players are and who the bad players are. We already know that now. It's the people that have good aiming, good positioning, and great knowledge of how to go and outplay opponents using the building mechanics. And that's how the game should be. Through aiming, but not through recoil control. Recoil control just goes and adds something that is frustrating. Going to counter recoil is incredibly painful. If you look at the top of competitive shooter games, have a look. You've got Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Rainbow Six Siege, and dare I say put PUBG in there. All of those games have recoil control as an element because those games are inherently competitive. Fortnite, I don't think it's as competitive, but it has a competitive streak that a lot of people really like. But it's not the main thing that draws a lot of people to the game. A lot of people just like having a lot of fun. And then the people that want it to be competitive can try hard and they can go and have fun that way. But if you go and introduce competitiveness into the main element of the game, and so everybody has to go and play in a more competitive way, that just goes and alienates the community, and I really don't think it should be done here. Moving on, let's go and talk about the shotgun change, because I think of all the stuff that I saw today, this is the thing that really goes and resonates with me the most. I think it is a really good change, and hopefully Epic goes and introduces it before they go and do more testing, because I think it's basically ready for the live servers. Right now, there is a bit of an epidemic going around that if you have two pump action shotguns, what you go and do is you fire the first one, and instead of going and cocking it, you go and swap to your second one and you fire that. So you get the fire rate of a tactical with the damage of a pump action, and it is very lethal. This change attempts to go and fix it, because when you go and pull out the shotgun, the spread is so big that in the end of it, it's not worth going and firing a shot. So you have to go and wait, and then you'll go and fire it. So you can't do this whole, swapping between shotgun strat. That's basically countered. But that also goes and counters people that go and use assault rifles. They go for the full spray and then instantly go and swap to, let's say, a tactical or a pump action shotgun, and then go to town on your opponent. That means, okay, you have to go and maybe duck out of combat for just a little bit, wait for your shotgun to actually be basically usable, and then go into combat. And I don't especially like that. I really don't like that, because going and keeping up the aggression is one of the best things in Fortnite Battle Royale. You can just keep going and going. You can just basically never stop, just demolishing people if you are good enough, and this change goes and counters that. I like how it counters the dual shotty strat, but I think a happy medium is needed. And I think that is a good way to go and sum up the patch overall. Well, not the patch, well, the shooting model overall. I think a happy medium is needed. And if you can go and take what we have now and what Epic has briefly gone and shown us, and kind of merge the two together into some type of combined model, I think overall the transition will be better for the players that are obviously used to the model that we're playing with now. We're all very used to it. But it also goes and means that the game is going to be more fair. And so if you can aim properly, you're going to be rewarded. But with that said, you can't go and just laser people down and just brutally kill them like you're playing PUBG, because I don't think that really fits in this type of game. One thing that they probably overlooked is the submachine guns. If you guys remember, the recoil aim down sight was very high. And so that basically goes and says, don't aim down sights while using a submachine gun, going and just hip fire like drive-by style. And I think the whole spread while moving is really good. The spread is actually quite low. But going to give us less recoil while we're aiming down sights with a submachine gun, because in the early game, sometimes all you have is a submachine gun, and sometimes you need to go for those long range shots. So if you go tap, make it manageable, because at the moment, you just bursted and your cursor would be halfway up the screen and you have to go and pull it down. It's a complete mess. Overall, I'm really intrigued with the direction that Epic Games is going with this shooting model change. I like the idea. I like the idea of what they are doing, but what they actually went and showed us, the execution is obviously flawed. Now, obviously, this was never meant to go live. We were never meant to go and see this. So we're going giving feedback on something that has obviously been iterated on and is going to be improved before we actually see it in 2018. But with all of that said, this is a step in a direction, but it needs to be refined. It needs to be improved. And then we might actually go and see something that will go and really capture the essence of going and playing a casual game in a more try-hard way and it being rewarding. And if you want to go and play it casual, you can go and do that. But if you want to go and be, a bit more upfront about it and really try to go and win the game, be the #1 in the lobby, I think something like this would go and benefit a lot of people. But a happy medium is definitely needed. With all of that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go and give it a like rating. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from down under.